Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of 5 Horror Movie Fun Facts starring yours truly, me. So this week's this week's movie I was not going to do for a couple of reasons. One, I'm pretty sure I've done it already, or at least it feels like it because it's like a part of my whole zeitgeist thing. Like it's literally a chapter in my life, being a Gen Xer who was once a goth. But I hear tell there's a movie coming out today that's a remake of it, so let's do it. This week's movie, The Crow, 1994. Fun fact number one, let's just address the elephant in the room. Brandon Lee's tragic unaliving. Like, if you don't know anything about the original movie, you know about that. Here are a couple of quick fun things about it. Well, maybe not so fun, but Michael Matsey, who played Fun Boy, was actually the one who pulled the trigger that took out Brandon Lee. He was so distraught over the whole thing that he stopped acting for a year. In addition to that, there was really a whole debate as to whether or not they were even going to put the movie out. There was talk of this movie being just straight to video, if anything, but then Miramax came along and said, hey, let's make some money off of this thing. The problem was Brandon Lee still hadn't shot a couple of scenes. So they did something that was really not done in 1994. They digitally enhanced him in the movie. And the fun part about that is that even today, unless you're looking for it, you can't really see it. They did like an excellent job at it. Like how they did it is pretty cool. Went like
Another difficult shot required the DreamQuest team to extract an image of Lee walking down an alley and have him walk through a doorway.
That's a great documentary, by the way. I would highly recommend watching it. But yeah, in addition to using the whole digital thing, they got a stand-in to play, Brandon, who turned out to be this guy, side note, Chris Stahelski, who would go on to direct John Wick. Fun fact number two. So, okay, in the original subplot of this movie, there was a lot of Asian stereotyping. Well, once Brandon Lee signed on, he worked very closely with stunt coordinator Jeff Amata to kind of take a lot of that out. Because if you know anything about Brandon Lee and about Bruce Lee, you know they wouldn't have gone. Fun fact number three, both River Phoenix and Christian Slater were up for this role of Derek Drake. Like, they weren't even looking at Brandon Lee, actually. They were looking at the two hottest young actors at that time, which makes sense because Brandon Lee at the time, the last biggest movie he did was like a buddy cop type movie. I can't remember the name of it to save my life. But it was nothing like The Crow. Like, they really wasn't looking in his direction. But he won James O'Barr, the creator of The Crow, over and ended up getting the job. Lost 20 pounds to do it. Fun fact number four. There was supposed to be a character called Skull Cowboy in the original 1994 version. Skull Cowboy was a character in the comics, and he was actually supposed to be in the movie. Like, they cast him and filmed it and everything. After Brandon Lee's death, unfortunately, they took it out. That's okay because he actually makes an appearance in Crow the Salvation, one of the many sequels to this. And speaking of sequels, fun fact number four. Rob Zombie was supposed to do a sequel to this movie, which is weird because I remember hearing about it and I totally forgot about it entirely. It was supposed to be called The Crow 2037. And to my understanding, it was written and scheduled. It just kind of fell into development hell. But yeah, I don't know what that would have looked like. It would have been interesting to say the least. And finally, fun fact number five. The third Crow movie, The Crow Salvation, was actually loosely based off of The Lazarus Heart by Poppy Z. If you were any kind of goth kid in the 90s, you know exactly who Poppy Z Brite is. And you probably already know this fun fact. Incidentally, the third film never made it to theaters or straight to video, as were most of the Crow sequels. I don't know why they keep remaking this movie, why they keep adding sequels. Anyway, that's today's 5 fun facts. If you're going to see the movie, good for you. I don't know if I will. Well, I won't see it in the theater. That really is a rant for another day, I think. So, yeah, anyway, y'all have a good weekend. Bye.